Hello, I'm Linda from Barlates Body Blitz, and here's my little baby Minnie. Hopefully she stays in the shot, but I don't think it's likely because of the angle, but she's probably going to park herself just outside of you like she usually does. And yes, there she is. That's okay, you got to see her cuteness for like 2 seconds. So how is everyone? Today is a glorious day, and I'm sorry if the camera is overexposed today because I've got the sun shining in. When I'm at this angle, the sun shines directly into the window. Well, it's not directly and it's a bit overhead, but it's very bright. So I've tried to turn the brightness down on the camera so it's not quite so bright, but it's likely still going to be a bit overexposed. So sorry about that. So how's everyone enjoying the workouts at the moment? I've got the all about the arms starting very soon. So I've just had all about the legs. I think the last workout is coming out this week, using the chair and lots of interesting angle changes. And then I've got all about the arms coming, which is going to have some really different moves in it. Lots of kind of freestyle arms, some work without weights, some boxing in there, work with weights, work with the chair. So really going to get your upper body as well as a lot of the other areas in the body toned before we move on. So I've had a poll going. I'm not sure if you guys saw my last coffee talk. If you go to my YouTube channel and you go under the community section at the top, there's posts in there that have a poll about what sort of workouts you'd like to see next. And it's been really interesting what everyone's coming out with. Definitely ankle weight workouts is a big winner. Lots of people want total body workouts rather than just single body part specific workouts. Rather have longer workouts than shorter. So it's still kind of being added to, and I've still got to finish off a couple more workouts. I've still got to finish off a few more workouts that I planned before this poll, but as soon as I'm done with them, I will be using all of that info that I'm gathering as to what you guys want to create the new series. And from what it looks like, I think I'm going to be doing some more endurance workouts. I don't remember if I mentioned it in the last coffee talk, but I'm going to be doing endurance starting with lower numbers. So if you are familiar with my endurance series, it goes from 70-second intervals all the way up to 120-second intervals. I'm going to do some prior ones, so they're prequels to the endurance series, so that people that are a little bit daunted by doing such long intervals can kind of ease into it more. So I'm going to be doing endurance 40, 50 and 60. I might even do 30, I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll do 30, 40, 50, 60, but that's a lot of workouts. And don't worry, even though they're shorter intervals, we're still going to be getting our heart rate up a lot because we will definitely be doing harder moves. If you know about my workouts, I tend to go hard. When it's a short workout, I pull out all the stops and I just go hard. So sometimes the shorter workouts are actually harder. So if you are the sort of person that likes a really intense session, I recommend using multiple of my short workouts rather than the long sessions, okay? So that's a heads up for you. Apart from that, thank you so much for all of the new members to my membership site. If you don't know about that, basically if I've got the Barlates Supersize membership, and you can join that by hitting the join button on my channel or at the bottom of any of my videos, and that gives you access to all the exclusive content. I recently did a bounce mini trampoline series on there, and I've just started a total mat series where I'll be using equipment like the Fitball, ankle weights, the band, and then there's one with just light weights and body weight, and they're all full length workouts. They're all like 50 plus minutes, I think, maybe 45 to nearly 60 minutes. So they're going to be tough ones, but you know, all the equipment that's kind of been popping up on the poll as being popular, as being wanted, I've tried to use that. So that's coming up for the members exclusive. If you want to join, it's $19.99 a month, and you get access to loads of non-YouTube workouts, or rather workouts that have not been released free on YouTube. Many of them which are from the number of years ago that I kind of had as paid workouts back then. So you get all of that access, definitely a bargain, and you can work your heart out forever and ever because it's basically non-stop. I'm producing so many new workouts, and there's all of these old ones that I haven't uploaded yet. So you're going to have like a kid in a candy store, you're going to have a huge selection. So that's my members only. I also like to thank everyone who's still been buying me coffees. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. If you don't know about that, it's basically just my Buy Me a Coffee fund, which is a virtual coffee to show appreciation for my free content. It's a link at the top of any of my video descriptions. If you want to buy me a coffee, I definitely appreciate it. And please make sure you leave me some comments. I love to read all of those and I'll definitely reply to you. Now to the crux of today's coffee talk. It was brought to my attention recently about lactic acid and the kind of relationship it has with breathing. Okay, so one of my viewers said to me that she noticed that as she kind of got older, lactic acid started to build up more quickly. And so if you don't know what that feels like, it's basically that intense burning sensation that you get when you're doing some really tough exercises, the ones where you tend to grit your teeth and hold your breath, which is pretty much 90% of my workouts. That burn is basically lactic acid building up, and you need to then basically stop doing that really intense exercise just for a few seconds, half a minute, and it all kind of gets out of your system again. So that happens when there's not enough oxygen in the bloodstream, okay? So your body basically, I'm not going to go into technicalities, but your body switches from a process of converting energy using oxygen to a process where you're not using oxygen because there's just not enough in your bloodstream. And that process will produce lactic acid. And that's what's going to basically flood your body and you're going to feel that intense burn. So we do love the burn, but it can get to the point where it's just too much sometimes. And there's ways of helping yourself out. So I don't really talk that much about deep breathing when it comes to workouts, but basically the fitter you are, the less the lactic acid will build up, okay? So I'm talking about cardiovascular fitness. I'm talking about lung health. So if you're the sort of person that runs marathons, cycles a lot, gets yourself breathless quite a lot, maybe you do spinning classes, you're probably pretty fit cardiovascularly, and you will probably find that the burn doesn't build up quite as much as for someone who pretty much doesn't do any cardio activity. So there's a number of ways to kind of build up your lung health. Either increase your cardiovascular activity, or you can do things like breathing exercises. I don't know if you guys have heard of any of these different breathing protocols that you can follow. Wim Hof is kind of the go-to for me. He has a program where you do these rapid breaths followed by a hold. I'm not going to go into details here, but Wim Hof, WIMHOFF. You can follow him. He's got actual breathing practices on YouTube that you can follow, and it guides you through how to breathe. And basically by doing that, it will help you to increase your lung capacity. Most of us in our day-to-day life, we shallow breathe. And unfortunately, it's something that we kind of gotten used to. We're not used to taking these big, deep breaths unless you really are doing a workout where you're so cardiovascularly challenged that you're at the end of it, you have to kind of hunch over and breathe and breathe and breathe. Have you ever done one of those running races or things like that where you you're nearly dying and you just have to get that oxygen in? We don't do that a lot anymore. As kids, you do it. You just go all out, you run around, you play chasey, and then you kind of look half dead and, trying to catch your breath. But as adults, we have this tendency not to deep breathe. And it's a really, really bad thing. It's just bad for so many things. And so the more you can learn to deep breathe, the better. So that's why a lot of practices, such as mindfulness practices, get you to focus on the breath. And they talk about deep belly breathing rather than shallow breathing from up here. They talk about expanding your belly so you feel your belly come out and then blowing all the air out again. And some of those practices are really good for just getting you in tune with your body again and with your breathing. Just to stop for a second and go, am I breathing in a really shallow way, or am I taking full breaths? And most of us, me included, will throughout the day, if we stop, we'll see that we're actually taking very shallow breaths. So if you're able to do a breathing meditation or a Wim Hof practice or one of those other breathing protocols every now and then, maybe 3, 4, 5 times a week, then you'll be able to just become more in tune with your breath again. And then when you catch yourself not breathing very deeply, you can actually stop for a second, take some deep breaths, maybe try and get yourself used to it. It's a habit, right? It's a habit like anything else. Breathing deeply can be a habit. Just like sitting up straight at the computer instead of hunching over, it can all become a habit. So I recommend that when you are in the midst of one of my classes or any class that really, really burns, start breathing deeply. And I'm not going, I'm saying breathe in slowly and breathe out. Tell your body it's okay. Breathe in and breathe out. The slower you breathe, the more you're signaling your body that you're not in fight or flight, that you're actually calm and you're relaxed and you're at peace. And when you're oxygenating your body, putting that oxygen all in your bloodstream, it will make sure that you're using that oxygen to produce energy for your muscles to use, rather than switching into an anaerobic state where you then will build up the lactic acid. Okay, so I hope I've kind of explained that in a way that's not too difficult to understand. If you have any questions, leave me comments below. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, because it came to my attention recently, and I've been doing it a lot more as well. I've got some eyelash or mini fur or something on my face and it's itchy. I've been doing it a lot lately as well, just really focusing on breathing as I hit that burn. And honestly, the deeper you breathe, the burn goes again. So you'll be doing an exercise and it burns like crazy. Then you start oxygenating your body again, and it will help the lactic acid to dissipate, and the burn gets much more bearable. Okay, try it for me, try it next time, and I'll try and cue you in some of my workouts to do that as well, so that together we can beat the lactic acid and keep pushing through, right? Because you eventually have to stop when that buildup gets so intense. You just can't go anymore, right? So the longer you can go without that building up, the better, because then you can get the results without that really bad burn. Although we do love the burn, I know. Bit of a masochist myself, and maybe a bit of a sadist as well, but we don't want it to start right at the beginning of an exercise, because then we know it's going to be hell by the time we finish. Now, talking about breathing and talking about meditation, I wanted to mention again, in case you guys aren't aware, if you haven't watched my previous coffee talks, I have another YouTube channel called Calm Relax Studio, and it's all about meditation music, nature sounds, things that help you to get deep sleep, but also binaural beats that help you to calm your nervous system down and bring you into a more relaxed state. Some people just have them in the background all day long, because when you're going about your business, doing housework, maybe dealing with kids, dealing with pets, dealing with husbands or partners or wives or whatever, you can tend to get stressed. So having something in the background that can calm your nervous system is actually really amazing. You can try it. Just put on binaural beats. I mean, with binaural beats, really you're supposed to use headphones, but put on one of my meditation music ones that has nature sounds, that has birds chirping, water. It's so calming to the nervous system. So head on over. I've got the link below in every one of my YouTube channels. At the very bottom, it says YouTube channel 2.0, and that's my Calm Relax Studio channel. Please subscribe. I'm trying to build up my subscribers to 1,000 subscribers. I'm only at just over 100 at the moment, because that's when I can monetize the channel, and obviously every little bit helps. So if you can, please subscribe, and just have a go. Maybe you lack sleep at night and you really need some help to get you to sleep. Many people swear by binaural beats. Basically, they have 2 different waves in each ear, and together they make this beautiful either delta or theta wave that helps you to calm the nervous system and gets your brain into a state of deep relaxation that will help you fall asleep. So there's quite a few of them on there. Some of my videos are black screen as well, which means that you don't have an annoying light. You can leave them on all night. I've got different time frames as well. So if you want something short, just to help you get to sleep, there's 45-minute ones, or if you want a full night, there's 8-hour ones. So you can have a look at those and hopefully something will help you. I know all about lack of sleep. I suffered from insomnia for over a year when I was going through TSW, and yeah, it's not fun at all. So any little bit that can help, just give it a go, because sleep is one of the most important things that you can do for your body. So that's all I've really got to say at the moment. If you have any questions about any of that, please leave me comments. As I said, please leave me a like if you like the content of this video. If you have any other suggestions about things that help you sleep, or other ways of getting through that really intense lactic acid burn, leave those comments below as well. I'm sure other people will be interested to hear that. And yeah, I hope it was informative, and I will come back very soon. I want to talk to you about a few other things that I've been that have been on my radar in terms of health, in terms of nutrition, things like that. So if there's any other topics that you would like me to cover in up and coming coffee talks, also leave that in the comments below. All right, thanks so much for listening. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.